Welcome to our continuing series on questions and answers from the works of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. Today's subject is Divine Will, Part 6 from Sri Aurobindo. The essentiality of the divine will is that in it consciousness and energy, knowledge and force are one. It knows all manifestations, all things that take birth in the worlds. It is Jatavedas, that which has right knowledge of all births. It knows them in the law of their being, in their relation to other births, in their aim and method, in their process and goal, in their unity with all and their difference from each other. What it is, it knows. What it knows, that it does and becomes. This is the change that happens when the mental will, approximating more and more to the divine, Agni burns out in us. It is that increasing knowledge and force which carries us finally into the straight or good path out of the crookedness. It is the divine will, one with the divine knowledge, which leads us towards felicity, towards the state of immortality. All that belongs to the deviations of the ego, all that obscures and drives or draws us into this or that false path with its false lures and stumblings, are put away from us by it. These things fall away from the divinized will and cease to find lodging in our consciousness. Therefore, the sign of right action is the increasing and finally the complete submission of the individual to the divine will, which the illumination of Surya reveals in him. Although manifested in his consciousness, this will is not individual. It is the will of the Purusha, who is in all things and transcends them. It is the will of the Lord. But if this total conversion is to be done, there must be a consecration of our actions and outer movements as much as of our mind and heart to the divine. There must be accepted and progressively accomplished a surrender of our capacities of working into the hands of a greater power behind us, and our sense of being the doer and worker must disappear. All must be given for a more direct use into the hands of the divine will, which is hidden by these frontal appearances. For by that permitting will alone is our action possible. All must be given for a more direct use into the hands of the divine will, which is hidden by these frontal appearances. For by that permitting will alone is our action possible. A hidden power is the true Lord, an overruling observer of our acts, and only He knows true freedom possible to man, a freedom which he cannot have unless he outgrows his mental separativeness and becomes the conscious soul in nature. The only free will in the world is the one divine will of which nature is the executrix, for she is the master and creator of all other wills. Yoga has always its difficulties, whatever yoga it be. Moreover, it acts in a different way on different seekers. Some have to overcome the difficulties of their nature first before they get any experiences to speak of. Others get a splendid beginning and all the difficulties afterwards. Others go on for a long time, having alternate risings to the top of the wave and then a descent into the gulfs. And so on till the difficulty is worked out. Others have a smooth path, which does not mean that they have no difficulties. They have plenty, but they do not care a straw for them because they feel that the divine will help them to the goal, or that he is with them even when they do not feel him. Their faith makes them imperturbable. I don't know where to draw the line between the egoistic will and the divine will. Can there really be anything like the will of the instrument in the practical field, as the physical mind would put it? Since only the divine wills is done, what is the need of your creating instruments for the divine creation? As long as there is egoism, the egoistic will is there, and so long as there is ignorance, there will be a will of the instrument in the practical field. If the ignorant egoistic will is to be considered as a manifestation, the divine will acts through the aeons to reveal progressively not only in the unity of the cosmos, not only in the collectivity of living and thinking creatures, but in the soul of each individual, something of its divine mystery and the hidden truth of the infinite.